Hi everyone, it's April with Hair 101, and today we are going to do some lowlights on this gorgeous natural blonde head of hair. Her hair is so beautiful that she actually can't find people to color it because they always say no, is what you were telling me, right?
Yeah.
They were like, no, everybody wants hair like this, don't color it. I've known her for a while. I actually did her wedding pictures a while back. But she's like, I just want some lowlights like your hair. So I said, let's do it. The formula we're going to be using is the 6NA with just a little bit of the 2GN to darken it up a little bit, and then 10 volume. I have several little chunks down in the bottom of my hair, so I'm going to take her hair and just part it off. And I just went on the roll of the head right in the back, right along the top of the occipital bone. And I'm going to do 3 diagonal chunks right in here. And these two I'm going to angle in just a little bit so they look a little bit thicker, and this one will just be straight up and down. Now, less is more with this color of hair, especially because when it does start to grow out, she could have some reverse roots. Luckily, it won't really show down in the bottom of her hair because it will be laying on top of itself, but definitely would not put any lowlights on the top of her head right in her part line, because when it starts to grow out, she'll have white roots, black ends, or we'll say dark brown ends or brown ends. And then the root spot will look like a little bald spot. So she'll look like she's balding or thinning, and so we don't want that. We don't want that visual illusion. So I'm gonna just go through here in the back though, back on track, here we go. And I'm gonna take like a 1/4 of an inch chunk. And less is really more with blonde hair because the blonde hair is see-through and the dark hair is going to be solid, so you won't be able to see. And see, this is another reason why I love chemical drapes, having the towel right there. If I get something on my finger, I can just wipe it on them. Yeah, that's probably not the best tip, but I do it, so haters back off. All right, so just this little chunk right here. I'm gonna go and reach in right underneath here and get some right down by her neck. These are really short, and so I'm gonna kind of have to just scrape off the brush as much as I can and just lightly grab them with the brush. And once they get wet, they'll stay over there, as you can see. You want to make sure you're really clean with this, because if you drip any into her hair, a blonde like this, it will be a big old polka dot. You do not want that. So this one I'm going to angle in on this angle, the same as the other one, so it was like a V shape. And I like to work in odd numbers whenever I do color placement with foils. I'll either do just 1, 3, or 5, and I think it just looks a little bit better. Kind of the same, I've talked about this before in other videos, but like when you learn arranging flowers, you'll do things in odd numbers. It's just more pleasing to the eye. Keeps it balanced. So it's kind of like where the mohawk section would extend to. And I'm going to just do a couple chunky weaves through this part. So when I say chunky weave, I usually do like 1/2 inch sections and leave out 1/2 inch sections too. So typically I get 3 big chunks. Another tip for something like this, tinting back blondes, you want to make sure that your sections are small, because if the color doesn't saturate all the way through both layers or all the whole chunk of the hair, you'll get spots. And if you're a little bit worried about it, if you felt like that last section was a little bit too thick, you can go in and flip the back of the foil like I just did. to make sure that you get both sides totally saturated. And that works good too.